Guten Tag, Warco. Welcome back up onto the bridge. I hope you had a restful evening. Well, a restful morning in your case. It's been a while since we sunk our last ship, but the terrible tuxedo turtle pushes on. And it looks like we're going to have a fine sunset tonight. Plowing along the waves. We're just going about 9 knots. This is a nice cruising speed for us. We're going to get very good fuel efficiency. No visible ships on the water right now. Just been cruising along. And we're a fair distance away from where we sunk our last ship. In fact, at this point, having put a little distance between us, I'm going to radio home just saying that we've reached our patrol grid and we've sunk 2 ships already. I'm going to go to the radio operator and let's go ahead and send that patrol report so far. Very good. Now, unfortunately, my Shift F2 takes me here. I don't know why, and I don't have freedom of movement. Oh, okay, I do. I lied. Everything is wrong. But I didn't. I forgot to actually make this stuff work. So I think this might even work on the bridge. No, it doesn't. Yeah. So I need a way to move up the ladder. Can I do it? Let me go. Let me go. Won't let me go. I need the open hatches mod, which I don't have installed. But that's okay. We'll make do. Eventually I'll get all this immersion working, but right for now we'll just hop between different stations, which is fine. The place I'd most like it to work is actually here, so I can move a little bit forward on the boat, but that's okay. Anyways, it's really a beautiful day out, and fine weather still. I think we're at about 7 knots. What would you say, Watch Officer?
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Oh, I finally have the languages changed back to German. I get the text in English, of course, but I much prefer to hear them speak in German, which is how, of course, they would be speaking. So, helps the immersion a little bit more. Okay, that being said, I think it's time to go to time compression again. So I've set up a very basic patrol of this grid. Whoa. This is very good. Whoa, one sec. Gotta get rid of that. Alright, main turn. We got turn hard to starboard so that we start facing them. What do we have? What have you spotted for us? Oh, it looks like a tanker. It's big, whatever it is. Alright, well, we're going to man the deck gun and we're going to bring another one down. I didn't plan that. That was actually kind of perfect. Just as I started the recording back, we've spotted another one. Now, the cool thing about when the Germans use their deck guns on the Type 7, they do use the 88mm. It's not the exact same gun as the really infamous 88. It uses different ammo, but they actually would do this little bucket brigade of people so that you'd have a bucket brigade below passing ammo all the way up and over, because they only were able to store like 1 or 2 shells, which allowed them to very quickly fire if they spotted a ship like we've just done. I'm actually going to lead this target, so that would be better for us. Get the advanced navigation. So I'm going to drag this over here so I don't ruin my plotted course. It's not like this is extremely complicated. And you can actually set up much better search patterns if you'd like. But I don't really care to do that. I usually just set some zigzaggy stuff because I prefer to avoid the shallows. In this case, what we're going to do is just kind of intercept the course. Try to minimize our exposure. So try to minimize the angle of our hull to him. Because the better angle we give him, the more, obviously, our ship is much more visible from the side than it is from the front, as already demonstrated. So the less angle we can give him, the less likely we are to be seen. So we probably even have led a little too much. Something like this. Okay, let me plot that course. And now let's just try to identify this ship wherever she went. So smokestack in the rear. Not locking on. To this, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what this is actually. This looks like that coastal freighter I was referring to. Let's just go right to it. Okay, intermediate tanker. That's one possibility, but it looks like its superstructure is in the rear. This one has the loopy thing on top, so that's why I think it's probably a coastal freighter. There it is. I'm almost positive that this is what we are looking at here. So we got the front peg here, the next peg a little bit abaft of that. You have this small, or this tall, like flagpole thing, and then you have the smokestack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No need for us to waste a torpedo on this. So I'm going to identify this as this for now. Pretty sure that's what she is, which is not. This is my luck with this patrol so far, has been a lot of 2,000-ton ships, but that's okay. Poco a poco, slowly we'll get the total tonnage count higher and higher. And since this is a freebie, since it's on the surface and we can use our deck guns, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna have to crew our deck gun for this, obviously. Yeah, I think everything's gonna be fine. I off camera I adjusted everyone, so we have our tired group of engine workers in the quarters, and we have our new group all in good shape for endurance. A few guys who are in pretty good shape, just transfer them out, and then a lot of guys who are still recovering. So. Okay, well, nothing left to do, but let's send this one down to the bottom as well. So we can do the ranging, like people have been mentioning that you can do Uzo the range, which is, yeah, probably more appropriate. Try to get this just at waterline. I'm gonna try to lock on here and do the ranging before this lock dissipates. See, it dissipates rather quickly. 7,000 they say. Let's keep that for now. Come on. Yes. Let's keep that for now and let's just identify ourselves. How accurate was that estimate? Not terrible. Obviously we're not going to engage from this distance. Ahead standard, please. We still have to identify if it's a British ship or not, but the likelihood that it's not a British ship is really small. We don't have any kind of flag that I can identify yet, but yeah, almost for sure this is a British ship. So I've almost never run into ships in this area that are not British. It's so rare. You just have to think that the British Empire has so many merchant ships out and about that, especially in this area so close to home waters for them. I mean, this is home waters for them that you would expect. This could even just be a... Okay, now we're starting to see the red flag. So that would be the identifying characteristic for a British merchant ship. And I think the more we look at it, the more I'm confirming my original diagnosis that this is a coastal ship. The only thing it could be besides that, because we have this kind of artifacting in the bottom, like we're not, she's a little bit, might even be because of the curvature of the Earth. I thought this happens from much further away than just like 6 miles, 5 miles, 8 kilometers. If you have like 30 kilometers distance and you see a ship, you actually will see less of the ship because the curvature of the Earth means that they're actually dropping. Like you're here and you're looking straight, but the curvature of the Earth actually drops the ship enough that you won't be able to see the side. But I don't think that effect takes, well, effect for about 30 kilometers or so. That's my guess. I'm just pulling a number out of the back of my head, which could be completely inaccurate. I just highly suspect that the curvature is not enough to notice at only like 8 kilometers, which is what we're dealing with here. So maybe it is, but I suspect it's just the waves, that the waves up and down are causing us not to be able to see exactly. Plus we saw that our ranging effort was pretty decent. It was not a terrible range to target. And if you're really... Sorry, I'll let him finish. Yes, that's my new course. So if you were to completely misidentify the ship, especially by tonnage, by height of the masts and stuff, you would get a terrible range to target. So we can probably do a better one now and see if we get any better of a range. We're getting 50. That sounds just about right. Let's double check, see how accurate that was. I mean, that was like almost dead on. So that's how you would range ships if you don't choose to use the map at all. It's the most accurate way. Sometimes when you're just listening to hydrophone contacts, though, it's you can't do this, obviously. And that's the really advanced method I was trying to work out. You technically can if you know how fast you're moving, and you can get different triangulation points. Unfortunately, they're just time separated, which is the most difficult part, obviously. But you can get different data points for hydrophone contacts. You know, you'll get one like, okay, so I got one right here. Then I moved forward and I got one like here. Something like this. Then you have to know, okay, so I'm moving this much. In that time, they moved this much. How much of that, what kind of, where are they on this line? Like, where are the different points of intersection that this could happen? You know, it's pretty complicated, though. I'm not going to talk about it here because I'll just make a fool of myself. But so I'm going to increase time compression a little bit. Has she already seen us? She has. Okay, well, now's the time to get a move on then. Let's go ahead and lead her a little bit more since it no longer matters. She's already seen us. And let's go ahead and get our watch officer. I want him. No, actually, we'll leave. But I want fresh bodies. So this is one. And how are these guys? They're practically perfect. Oops, they're targeting already. Look, man. Please don't fire the gun. I forgot to turn that off. Did we hit? Probably not. Oh my gosh, hey, great hit. Hey, you know what I said about holding your fire? Go ahead, man. Open up.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Feuer frei.
Feuer frei. That's what I feared, that they're going to start missing a little bit more. Not that my targets are always dead on, but I think I probably usually hit 1 out of 3 at least. So normally you would have the... I missed as well? Damn. Normally you'd have the second watch officer. This would be nice when it'd be nice to creep forward here. We'll just do it this way. This would be the second watch officer manning the actual deck gun, where the first watch officer obviously maintains his position with the Uzo. Alright, let me go ahead and commandeer this from you. I'm guessing a range of 4,000. Let's see how this goes. Damn it, I hit tab instead of spacebar. Let's try this. Okay, 3,800 was my guess. Wow, that was pretty darn good ranging. Lower down. We're going to miss a few of these just because, obviously, the gun is going to be rising and falling. I'm not going to be able to have good vision on that. I'm trying to look over here. See, now it's dipping, obviously. Now it's rising. So we have a decent time seeing it. Okay, dipping. There! I think that was a good time to fire. Looks like we're going to have to go a little bit more to the left. Okay, driven gun is falling. Here we go. That was close. Maybe a little bit low. And it doesn't matter if we get really close. The only concern you have is response. So obviously right now on the radio they are saying SOS, we're being attacked by a German submarine, and calling in everyone nearby. Whoops. We're really having to lead them by quite a bit. Looks like they're 2 mil dots to the right of whatever. Almost 3 mil dots to the right. That one looked better. looks like we overshot. Well, I guess that's possible. We are closing with them. Okay, yeah, we definitely overshot, so let's go down quite a bit. 2,800 was a little bit short. Let's go back up to 3,000. Wait for the gun to settle. Fire. Was that over? See, I don't think that was supposed to be over. That might have been the gun being tilted upward due to the waves. You can see how difficult it would be to engage a ship on choppy water, because these boats were not meant to be super stable on the surface like warships are. They don't have any means of counteracting the rolling of the waves. That was a good hit. Our first good hit in a while, to be honest. Looks good. Maybe a little bit shallow. And do we confirm our diagnosis that this is a... Well, it doesn't matter because we will soon find out. Actually, that explosion hit him right in the smokestack. A little bit too high still. Let's bring her down just a tad. Couldn't see. Yeah, perfect. That one was perfect. Whoa. That was a funky green explosion. Pretty good. Let the gun settle. Fire. I mean, she's on fire everywhere. That was a decent hit, maybe a little bit high. So, this is good. We're having a pretty successful patrol. You know, if you can sink 3 ships just with your deck gun, you're pretty lucky, because normally the weather doesn't hold up that well. That was perfect. That was a good hit. Okay, another thing. So, while we're sinking the ship, so a conversation topic. On the way back, it's possible I could swing by Scapa Flow. I've been looking at the charts. I've been looking at the guide for the Great Wolves expansion. The Grey Wolves expansion, excuse me. I think we could do it. I think we could sneak in the same path that Gunther Preen took. And we could get lucky. This ship looks like it's sinking, by the way, but we'll just add a few more to it, just to make sure. Slow, please.
Ein Drittel Fahrt voraus.
1/3. Settle, gun. Settle, settle, settle. Good. A bit lower. It's extremely dangerous, and it could be the end of our patrol, but what I'm thinking is it will be about the time where we finished patrolling these waters and probably launched a few torpedoes already. Now, obviously, if you're going to go into Scapa Flow, you absolutely have to take a lot of torpedoes with you, on the off chance that you do find like a British capital ship or something there. So, gosh, this gun is almost impossible to target right now. It's probably a good enough time for us to switch to different range. Maybe this is better. You're gonna have to range manually, obviously. Where's that one going? I don't see anything. Okay, we'll have to use this. Well, it was way too high. Let's try this. Geez, that's really traveling to the right. Okay, fine, we'll go back down to this. Let's go ahead and turn. Give me like maybe a 45-degree turn to starboard.
Kurs 2-3.
Just because I think we're approaching a little bit too close. We don't actually want to collide. That will be very bad for us. Oh, that one didn't make it. I don't think that was ranged incorrectly. I think we just miffed that one. Okay, just about right. Just about right. Come on, gun. Settle. Settle. Let's go back to a head standard. The rocking should settle once we stop our turn. Also, once we speed up a little bit more. Okay, okay, enough. That's way over. Might hit the superstructure? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Up. Well, there we go. There's a waterline hit. Almost completely unintentional, but this is extremely hard to aim. It's gonna hit the top. It didn't. The heck? Mein Gott. Let's try to arrange it this way. At this point, it might be better to let the crew fire up themselves. So, Scapa Flow. What do you think, Warco? You think we could get away with such a perilous adventure? Moving into extremely shallow waters. It's extremely well defended. Almost nothing going for you. Especially you could get in there and find nothing. Just patrol ships. Now you would still know you had done it. Still exciting to go in there. But the question is it worth it? Is the risk worth the reward? I don't know if we're going to find the Royal Oak there, like Gunther Preen did. But it's about the same time he went. He went middle of October, and this is a month later. I don't know if already British defenses would have been significantly increased. Okay, stop firing. Hold your fire.
Feuer einstellen.
Very good. So now we do the same thing we always do. We're going to return to our original course. We're going to keep going standard for a little bit. I think we'll just wait for a couple minutes before we do our dive, which is going to get us even further out of the range of any ships or aircraft, particularly aircraft that come to investigate the happenings over here. And that's good. So let's see. It was a coastal freighter indeed. Actually, that second one was a coastal tanker, but very light. Only 1,300 tons, which when we saw the ship, it made sense. So we can actually kind of take a look at this one going down. Well, it's sinking really quick. Yeah, really quick. Oh, we blew it in half. Holy cow. Well, yeah. That's not something a ship is going to survive. Wow. Down to the bottom she goes. Always good to be taking our range to our depth under keel when you're attacking. 125, that's good. It's plenty of distance. It's just good to do since you're already making a lot of noise. It's a bad time to do it after that. You know, it's a bad time to do it when there's destroyers on you. You don't want to start giving away your position. So a successful attack. And now the U-46 just slides quietly out of the way. Hopefully nobody knows anything about this for a while. Nobody's any the wiser about our presence here. For all they know, this merchant ship sank due to taking on water or who knows, an encounter with dolphins. We'll leave it to the British imagination, but most likely they're going to suspect submarine. And with that, we'll just man our bridge crew again. Get everyone up there. Go. There. Good. I think we're okay here. Yeah. This looks good. This guy looks like he can replace one of these guys. Anybody want to replace these guys? It looks like all of our sailors are pretty low on endurance right now. So these guys are the best, practically the best option. Okay, well, that's good. Let's go to time compression. Should we go under the waves? Well, yes, we should. Okay, radio message received. They're responding to my convoy, my patrol report. It's going to be missing. So this is the status report we sent. We've already sunk 2 cargo ships, and we've reached our patrol grid. They are going to tell us good work, continue patrol as current fuel and armament disposition allows, good hunting. This is what they always say unless you're completely out of torpedoes or low on fuel. So it doesn't matter how much, if you've sank even one ship, they tell you good work. So there's not a whole lot of variety. You can download a mod to get more variety, but I don't have that mod currently. Okay, so let's go ahead and push forward a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and dive now. So let's prep by getting these guys out of the electric engines.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Just to send us under the waves for a little bit, just in case the British do send out just an aerial reconnaissance. That would be bad. Most submarines in the war sunk by aircraft. So it's the biggest threat. If you've seen from the one of the previous videos, I did post a picture about your wake. And it's not extremely well modeled. You can see that the wake for our ship is not huge. We're not going all that fast, and let's go ahead 1/3. And we're not a big ship anyway. But still, you can see that the length of our ship is much shorter than our wake. It's still the best way to find a ship. Good. So periscope depth for a while. Maintain this. We'll go ahead and run this for about maybe an hour, maybe just a half an hour. And then we'll surface again. Because we're having a lot of luck just spotting ships on top of the waves. Now, this also helps. We can use our hydrophones while we're under the waves. But keep me informed on any happenings, okay? Hydrophone operator. Continue your sweeps. Now, I'm using headphones, but I still can never tell the ships until the hydrophone operator identifies them. I've done it with the hydrophone myself, but I cannot tell it. It's very hard to hear. So there are some people who say you are better at detecting it than your hydrophone operator, but for 703, the way I'm playing, unless there's a mod which makes it easier or something, it's extremely difficult for me to hear. So I'm going to have to trust him. The captain wouldn't usually be involved in hydrophone listening. Actually, he could, but neither would he really be involved in the deck gun, though. Oh, excellent. Okay, this is good news. So, fantastic. We have a hydrophone contact. I'm just going to try to mark what it looks like. And it's closing. So, let's assume she's going to be doing more or less the same line. This is probably like a typical path. So we'll make our way to the surface since it's getting a little bit darker out. And I actually want to know what kind of weather conditions we have. Do we have to use torpedoes? Are we still able to use our deck gun for a little bit longer? Yeah, it's pretty dark out. So hard to see her. And she'll start emerging from the waves now. Beautiful. Okay.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Head standard.
Große Fahrt voraus.
And watch officer, I'm going to need you to give me a report. How do things look? Let's get you up on my all-star watch. Let's get him up there. He's going to make it so it doesn't really matter the endurance of these other guys. Let's get this guy instead. Oh, I see. I miss this one. Okay, fine. You. Which of you is worse? Sorry, this is tedious, I know. Oh. Well, I don't know what happened, but... Okay, fine. You guys go over there for now. And until we find this ship... We're going to set the course a little bit more towards them, just in case they are heading south of east. Hopefully we still spot them, but I'm pretty sure they're heading north of east. Okay. Head standard. And let's go ahead and head on for probably about 40 minutes, and we could do another hydrophone check. I'm just going to get us above 32, which is going to reduce crew fatigue. It's a little min-max trick. If you're above the simulation limit for being in the game, so like I'm only allowed to do F7 at 32. I can't go any higher than this. But if you're in F5, you can. So anything higher than 32 means that you actually pause all crew fatigue at its current. So, okay, our battery. There it is. Wow, this one's actually. Huh.
Schiff gesichtet. Lage 2-9. Große Entfernung.
I don't know if this is the same ship. It almost certainly has to be, but 2133. So yeah, that makes sense. So they went 8 kilometers in about 40 minutes. That makes sense. 8 kilometers in 40 minutes. 40 minutes. 8 kilometers. Yeah, that puts them at about 7-6 knots, something like that. Obviously the ranging here is very approximate, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Okay, good. Well, let's take a look at what we have. Possible to see. Can I get a approximate angle? 40. Okay. Oh, well, she's very noticeable now. Oh man, looks like we have. I can't tell. Does that look like another? I've noticed that the videos that appear on YouTube are actually brighter than my current monitor settings. That's kind of good. It'll mean it's easier for you guys to see, but just to let you know, I am not seeing almost anything. I'm making out 1 mast, 2 mast, maybe a 3rd mast, which leads me to believe this is another coastal merchant. But I am getting my face pretty close to the monitor. It's the best I can do right now. We're going to close with her anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just monitor when she spots us. Looks like maybe she already has. And that's all we need to know for now. Okay, we have to range a little bit closer, I'd say. Help us go undetected a little bit longer. Good, we are hold fire right now, so I can crew my gun without them firing immediately. We're going to be able to get pretty close because it's obviously visibility is not very good. Just like a quarter moon, it's not going to illuminate the skies too much. Let's find her again. There she is. No, yes. I can't tell. I can't see the smokestack. But it looks identical. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is... Yeah. Because this right here looks like the same flagpole. Identical to the last one. Well, again, we aren't getting super lucky with the massive tonnage cargo ships, but that's okay. We will just keep sinking them one after another. Yeah. It does not look like they've seen us either, so... Nighttime, obviously, definitely a submarine's best friend. So we'll increase time compression because this is the same old song and dance at this point. Just another merchant ship that we're going to sink. You can see we can get a lot closer to this ship at nighttime. Obviously, the U-boat's friend. Yeah, and now for sure it's a coastal merchant. So let's lock on. Can we get a coastal freighter? Yes. Let's range her. Good, 2,000. I mean, doesn't matter the rest because we're going to be using deck gun. So, probably we begin our turn to starboard in order to run parallel and begin shelling. So let's go ahead and crew the deck gun.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin.
Give me a... Let's go 45 degrees to starboard again.
2, 3.
And as soon as we finish this turn, I'll begin shelling. Good, we already have loaded high explosive. We're about at 2,000. Just wait for this turn to finish. And we're about finished, okay. Let's bring her down, and Let's give one last check on the Uzo. What kind of range are we looking at, Watch Officer? Yep, still good. So, assuming that that is correct, let's go with something like 1800 to hit the waterline. And fire Frei. Good lord, that is like not where I'm aiming. Where in God's name? Where is he aiming? Yeah, well, that's not where I'm aiming, buddy. This is gonna make things interesting. We did have the correct distance, but good lord, man, the right-left of the gun was just horrible. A little bit higher. Let's take out that damn spotlight. See if I can do it. Probably about here. A little bit too far. A little bit higher. That's a little bit better. Okay, now we just need to keep it on like this. We don't really need to take out the spotlight, even though she is illuminating us right now. I'll just wait for one of my shells to rise like that, and let that accidentally take out the spotlight. Nope, hitting a few waves now. There's that green explosive again. I guess the British like to release gas canisters. Oh man, things are getting difficult. Probably at this point you need to adjust course to hit a different path along the waves. So let's try
Neuer
that.
Kurs 2,9.
Sometimes you just get into oscillation with the waves. If you've ever been on a speedboat, that's my only knowledge about this, is sometimes on the speedboats you can just be hitting the angle at the waves just wrong, and you get into an oscillation where you tip higher and higher each time. That one's not going to hit. So, whoops. That's better. Whoa. Okay, too short now. Come on, gun. Got it. Okay. And let's speed this up a little bit. Jeez, man. This gun is just crazy. Good hit. Good hit. Up short. I want to muff that one. This gun, man. Come on, come on. Up a little. You know what? Forget it. Just fire at will, boys. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, if we can get it to work here, this is the best. So, let's try this. That looks too high. Give me a little bit of turn to port.
Backboat.
Okay, at least I saw where that shell went. The most incompetent gunnery crew ever. Okay, there goes their spotlight. At long last. Steady as she goes. Midship, please. Short. Alright, fine. Go ahead. Do it yourselves.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Feuer frei.
They'll sink her eventually. That was a good hit. Another good one. Yeah, they're doing much better than I was. We're pretty close, so as long as they can compensate for the waves, which I think the AI does automatically. Obviously, it's more difficult for you to fire because the waves do cause misses like that. Maybe they do still suffer from that, but they're doing alright. They're getting some good waterline hits here. This is a lot faster way of doing it, too. Probably should have done it this way. Okay, come on, just there. I knew she was going down very soon, but okay. So, immediately, let's get these guys back to the bridge. They actually look pretty out. These two guys are tuckered out. So let's exchange them for some fresh faces. Yep, these two guys look fine. probably we need to bring in these guys as well, just to give them a break. Good, so now everything's set. We can get this guy on. He didn't really do much. That's fine. Okay, so let's go back onto course. Probably something like this still. Clear all. And I guess that's where we'll call this video to a close. So we've sank another 2 ships. My question about Scapa Flow is, on the return trip, it's really conceivable. Speed up the time compression. It's quite conceivable for us to go back this way. I believe my best approach would be to follow Preen's approach from the east. He went in this area, and they've made this available. In standard Silent Hunter 3, this is actually blocked. In the Grey Wolves mod, they've opened it up again. So you can follow Gunther Preen's course. And looking at it, I think that's still the best way in. I've come from this area before, but it is pretty difficult. You have to spend a lot of time underwater. I don't remember if there's mines or submarine nets over here, but there's definitely patrolling British ships, so that's a good thing, right? That means that there's less mines if there are mines. So, something to consider. If you have an opinion about that, go ahead and let me know, because basically it's like a 50% chance we'd lose. We just die. That would be an exciting end to our career. I mean, I don't know if I've ever died before. I'm trying to think. I've certainly died like doing some of the single player missions. One of my favorite ones, the ones whenever I just want to go through a mission, I always do the chips, trying to navigate the Gibraltar Strait. That one's a lot of fun. However, it's challenging enough that you lose about half the time. Anyway, if you have an opinion about this, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, yeah, we'll dramatically let the submarine sail into the night. So have a good night's sleep, and then I'll catch you when we have some more action, Lieutenant.